Visibility is a nervous system skill. You guys have heard of people talking about the wound of being seen or not being seen, right? And the visibility wound. And sometimes people wonder how other people are able to just be so extroverted or speak to people or communicate or express themselves so much without feeling timid or shy or shame around who they are, because they're able to be seen because they have trained their nervous system to feel safe in all situations, including having lots of eyes on you, having lots of opinions on you, having lots of projections on you. So people in the public eye who the tabloids go crazy about them, right? And somehow they're able to not even care about it. They put their blinders on and they just be themselves because they realize that people are going to have opinions no matter what you do. You could be, Mother Teresa, and somebody out there is going to think sideways about you. That's something you got to know if you're trying to be, heal your visibility wounds, or you're scared to be seen, is people are going to have opinions no matter what you do. So you can't walk on eggshells, and you can't try to cater to everybody's needs and opinions and preferences, because then you're really abandoning yourself and you're telling your nervous system that it's not safe to be who you naturally are, who you authentically are. So these people who are in the public eye or influencers or whatever, and people are just like wondering, like, how do they express themselves like that when there's so much hate being thrown their way, there's so many videos being made about them, blah blah blah. And there's this saying not everybody agrees with, but there's no such thing as bad publicity, right? Because it gets people talking. Even Kim Kardashian recently released a line of bikini things with like the bush on it, right? And got everybody talking because they're just like, what? Like, what is this girl doing? It gets them talking. She doesn't care. She knows the principle of, attention, right? And it's low-key genius because it gets people talking about her brand. It stimulates, it's like controversy. People start going to her website, to her page, all this. And especially before the holiday season, she's a genius because she's getting people talking about her brand, and that's just gonna equate to more sales, more revenue, a boost in her business, etc. You see where I'm going? It's like she knows that it doesn't matter how negatively people talk about her, people are still talking, right? And you can do your damnedest to try to only present good things and be as perfect and nice as you possibly can, but that's always going to backfire because always people are going to have something to say. So you might as well just be who you naturally are, be who you authentically are, and be okay. I think eventually you learn to be okay with people. They feel one way about you and then they feel another way about you. But either way, you're still the same person. Right? People's ideas and projections change because they're changing and you're changing. So to spend any time trying to control or influence how people feel about you is a waste of time. Okay? Because people come to their own conclusions no matter what, based on what they see, what they feel, their own internal triggers, their own internal insecurities, things that have been said to them, their life experience. There's nothing we can do to change that. And so, you can let people project onto you and still be at peace. That is a huge skill. That is a nervous system skill. It's like learning to be at peace when people are disagreeing with you, when people are thinking XYZ about you, when people are having judgments about you, people are having projections about you. It doesn't faze you. Imagine being so secure in yourself and your self-concept and your confidence that you could walk into a room where people are literally whispering and snickering and you unfazed. You just like reading your book in your own world, like so happy, so ecstatic, so enthusiastic, so optimistic, so beautiful, glowing, like nobody can bring you down. Like imagine being like that. And that's something we cultivate for ourselves every single day with our choices and our decision to be courageous and say the thing that might be unpopular, to express the thing that everybody might not agree with, but to just do it anyway because you're training your nervous system to feel safety. And so you know, energy is so contagious. So it's like choosing what you want to spread and amplify is huge, right? You don't fight trolls, you don't argue with people on the internet, you definitely don't explain yourself and try to prove somebody wrong, because that's just giving them energy. That's you trying to explain yourself. That's unnecessary. You know, stand in your power, stand in your confidence, and just radiate what you want to radiate. Express what you want to express. Be the joyful person that you are. Be the creative, amazing, sensual woman that you are. Yeah, so if you want to be a person who's able to express themselves and maybe even eventually get paid for expressing yourself, really just getting paid to exist, you know, it involves emotional boundaries, which is not letting people's projections, opinions, their keyboard warriors ever get to you, because you kind of set yourself apart in that way. You set those energetic boundaries where people could project onto you all day long. They're going to see what they want to see, no matter what, right? So it's like keeping those healthy boundaries for yourself, not arguing with people, not trying to prove people wrong, and most importantly, not explaining yourself. Okay? That is a huge way, I think, personally, that people leak energy, and I've learned this through doing it. You know, way back in the day, I would try to prove people wrong. I would try to explain myself. I would give attention to the haters, or like people who are like just trying to bring you down, you know? And that's such a huge waste of energy, and you could use that energy to become more beautiful, to glow even more, to be even more intelligent, to read new books, to read inspiring, uplifting content, to make new connections, to better yourself, right? Yeah, it's like you can't, like, haters can't drain you if you don't open your portal to them. They, you know, it's like people can have all the opinions they want or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're still talking, they're still watching, they're still engaging, they're still interested, they're still giving attention, right? And attention is like the most valuable currency we have. Time and attention are the two most valuable things we have. That's why so many people are out here, you know, like trying to get clicks, trying to get attention, blah, 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 because it's the most powerful thing. So if you're somebody out here who wants to do something, wants to express yourself, wants to, you know, be, I don't know, an inspiration or whatever it is that you personally want to do, hold those energetic boundaries and really believe in yourself and develop your self-concept so powerfully that nothing anybody says or does could sway you from what you know you want to do, what you want to express, who you want to be, right? That's such a powerful way to live, and you become so much more magnetic as well because you're unfazed. You are literally unfazed. People, it's a very magnetic way to be, you know, being unfuckwithable, not opening your portal to all these random energies and projections and opinions. They just bounce off you like, I don't know, like rain off a duck's back, you know? And yeah, so I hope this is helpful. But our nervous system is the foundation for everything. So if we want to heal those visibility wounds, we want to be seen, we want to be able to express ourselves without feeling trepidation or fear or judgment, just do the thing and train yourself to disregard any negative. I mean, constructive criticism could be a thing, you know, depending on like if you can take it, but a lot of people can't take it. A lot of people get one negative reaction and they want to go hide in a corner. Okay, that's because your nervous system is like going into fight or flight. And of course, it's not for everybody, but people who want to be content creators, people who want to share their stuff on the internet or teach courses or do anything that's where you have to be outward facing to the world, your nervous system is the foundation that's going to either allow that to happen or not allow that to happen. So cultivating energy, really believing in yourself, having really positive self-talk, really positive self-belief. It's my belief that our self-talk eventually becomes our belief. So it's like repetition, repetitiveness really gets into our subconscious. It really helps us anchor into the real world, like who we know we are. And so repetition is amazing for reprogramming our subconscious, like talking to yourself, you know, being your own biggest cheerleader, your own biggest supporter is so important. Because the people who make it, the people who really go after their dreams and they don't let anything get in the way, they have trained themselves to be their own biggest cheerleader. They've trained themselves to not care about what other people think. They've trained themselves, you know, to be boldly authentic no matter what the consequence is. And sometimes that means you're going against the grain. You know, 99% of people saying this thing, and you're this 1% over here like, what? Like, I don't feel that way. I don't agree with this. I don't, like, I'm over here. And it's like you either sabotage how you actually feel and you disregard how you actually feel to join the group over here, or you have the courage to stand alone and have your own opinion and just be different and just let the pieces fall where they may. And you have no idea, like, I feel like that's the ideal option because you're being true to yourself. You're following your heart. You're being authentic to who you are. You're not just trying to have other people agree with you or think you're amazing or think you're funny or think XYZ about you. Like, you're just being yourself, okay? And that is medicine for your soul. That's medicine for your self-concept, because yes, it feels nice to be accepted by the group, but if you're being accepted by the group for things that aren't even actually true for you, then you're not really being accepted by the group. Actually, you're kind of just conforming to fit in, to be part of something, which I get on a psychological level. I get it, but there's so much liberation and freedom in just allowing yourself to be who you naturally are, whether people like it or not. Not everybody's gonna love you, not everybody's gonna like what you have to say, not everybody's gonna want what you have to say and what you have to share, but there are some people out there that do actually need exactly what you have to say in the way that you say it, from you specifically, because for some reason energetically it just lands for them, right? It just is helpful for them. They're like, oh, I finally get it, or whatever. I know that's the case for me sometimes. I'll hear like one concept from one person, I'll hear it from another person, and it really lands for me with that other person. So really trusting in your gifts, really trusting in your ability to communicate and to soothe yourself and to soothe your nervous system is huge. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful, and yeah, I love you guys. Bye.